Cancer Journey Part 1.5. So, basically, after explaining, the diagnosis, how the emotions are, the ups and downs, we, that Sunday from that holiday weekend, I asked, the hubby if he wanted to go to Cape May. It was something we had talked about, like taking a day trip. And he looked at me, he's like, "Do you want to go?" I said, "Yeah, I want to go." So we got up, put the GPS in for Cape May, and took a drove down to Jersey. So basically it was about, a couple hours, but we ended up in Sea Isle City is where we ended up at. And I fell in love. It was so beautiful. It was a great day. The weather was gorgeous. The sun was decent. We stopped and picked up hats, and we got beach tags because in Sea Isle City you have to have beach tags, just like Cape May. And we didn't care. We weren't going to be staying for, the whole day. He realized I might only stay there for an hour and a half. That was fine. That was good enough. But we got our beach tags and we walked down the beach one way pretty far. I picked up seashells and we walked back the other way, a distance and stuff. And the water just felt so good on my feet. It was a little chilly, but once you start walking after a while, it was like fine. But it was just a beautiful day. It was so worth doing that drive. We both really needed it after what we just went through and what was just, the diagnosis that was just given to me. So we had a really nice day at the beach, for a little bit. And I took a picture to capture it because I said I wanted to make a journal. And I have it printed out and it's actually in my journal. So the start of the new week after the holiday, I don't think much was going on. I think I had one appointment for an oncologist. I don't remember the beginning of the week. I just know the end of that week, we were looking at ivermectin and seeing, how we can utilize that. Ivermectin is sold over the counter in the southern states. You don't need like a doctor's prescription for it. So we found 2 pharmacies in Tennessee that sell it. And we decided to pick the smaller pharmacy because it was a little bit closer, but it was also like just easier in general. And I filled out the form, put everything, all the information in why I wanted it because I have cancer, and put my weight in at the time. And eventually I got a call back from the pharmacist and she started explaining everything. So she went over, the whole thing, and I put my order in. And we decided we were going to, go and pick it up. Now, mind you, this is a 10-hour drive. So I'm working that whole week. I think, ooh, did I break a nail? Yeah, I broke a nail. I'll be damned. Anywho, I'll fix that later if I remember. But we realized we were going to do the drive, and we were going to do the drive over the weekend, to only find out that the pharmacy is actually closed on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. So they're only open, like Monday to Friday. And where is the top of this? There we go. Blanket. So Anywho, we we realized that, well, we need to get down there. So after Rich realized this, he can't leave Friday, like we couldn't leave Friday night and get there Saturday morning. So he had to leave Thursday night. Well, I can't let him drive by himself. I mean, that's just, it's too high risk, driving 10 hours one way, picking it up, and then having to drive 10 hours back. He's never going to stop. So I ended up, taking off and going with them, and I'm glad I did because I got to meet the pharmacist. She gave me paperwork, and she gave me this great aggressive treatment plan that has ivermectin in. She explained everything. She went through all the other supplements that she had listed on that paper. So it was well worth the drive to be able to talk to her and, get everything, get all the information and stuff. So I was very happy for that. So we did that within the first week, and then it was after that I had the first appointment with the surgical oncologist, and we chose him. He's supposed to be good for doing the esophectomy, and stuff. So he looked at the initial CT scan that was done for the diverticulitis, which was done way back in May. He also looked at what the endoscope was done, and his gauging of everything was about stage 3. So that's good. It's still doable for surgery. So I was still a candidate, but he didn't have a PET scan, which is what he ordered. So I, brought up the whole ivermectin, and he's not dead set against it, but he's not really for it. So this is one of these things that you have to just leave it out of the conversation because they really don't, either want to hear it or whatever the case is, because, it's not this or that. Just a bunch of bullshit is really what it comes down to. It's been known to kill cancer, put it that way. And a pharmacist wouldn't give you an awesome aggressive treatment list if she hasn't done it with so many other patients, or people in general. So there must be something to it. And some of the research that we did find out that ivermectin and fenben do work well with immunotherapy, and it can work pretty good with chemotherapy as well. So again, I'm still taking it. Sorry, and I'm not going to change. I'm just not going to let them know. That's all. It's my decision. It's my body. My choice. So we had our appointment with Dr. Brodsky, and he went through everything. He's our at the moment, he's the surgical oncologist. And he went through everything, in a sense, very briefly, but the next step was to get a medical oncologist, because you need to have a treatment plan in place and go through treatment before you can actually get surgery. So there's a whole regimen and path that you basically need to follow before you can even get to surgery. So you're looking at at least 6 months out before you're able to have surgery done. This is how insane having fucking cancer is. It fucks your life up so bad that nothing anymore is normal. And this is the weird shit you got to go through. So, on to the next video.